Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's a beautiful day, Labor Day weekend, high of only 81 today. We just finished a massive heat wave where temperatures were in the upper 90s and even over 100. Today is the first day, it's just been beautiful. I had to get out and get camping. Got a wonderful menu tonight. We're gonna cook some, a really expensive, over my budget, Cowboy Cut Ribeye steak. Gonna fry up some fresh French fries here at the campsite, and for dessert, bread pudding. I also have some really good beer, some good whiskey. We're gonna have a good time. So let's get started. Thanks for joining me. Mosquitoes are bad. I need to start a fire. I'm gonna keep it easy. These little wood shaving nests that I have. Fire's going pretty good now. I have some charcoal going too. We'll be using that for the steak. All right, I think I got everything out. I have a little prep area right here at the picnic table. And if you look over here, this is the cook area, a little bit away from my Forerunner. Okay, everything is set. The bed's made, my camp's made, the kitchen's all set, got all the food out. Before I go any further, it's just really humid. It's not too hot. It's still only about 80 degrees. The sun is starting to go down though. I need a beer, and today we're going to drink some Cross Strain. They're located in Papillion, Nebraska, right, which is just outside of Omaha, in case you don't know. It's called Cross Strain Brewing, and this is Southern Hoposphere, a hazy double IPA. I'm looking really forward to it. I wonder what the alcohol is. Oh, the alcohol is 8.5%. It's up there, and I got 4 of these. I probably should only have 1 or 2. Let's try it. Oh yeah, that hoppy smell right off the bat. Real grapefruity, smooth. It's got that creamy texture that you get with a hazy IPA. Don't really taste the alcohol like you do in some beers that are this high, which kind of dangerous. I'm glad I looked at the alcohol so I know not to drink too many of these. But it would have made for a really interesting cooking show, wouldn't it? Oh, that tastes good. Let me get started. So, as I said earlier, I spent way too much on this steak. I should just go ahead and tell you where I bought it, because it's at a chain, a grocery store chain, but it's one of my favorites. Fairway Market. They're located, I know, in Iowa and Nebraska, and I'm sure in other states. Small grocery store, big butcher counter, which I love. And in Omaha, Nebraska, they have I got a trash can underneath here. They have a Fairway that is just a butcher. It has the biggest butcher counter I've ever seen, and just a wide variety of meats and seafood. As far as beef goes, they have choice, different grades of choice and prime. You can actually buy some Wagyu there. You can spend $100 easy on one steak. This, however, is choice as far as grade goes, and it is a ribeye Cowboy Cut. And I asked for the smallest Cowboy Cut they have, which came in at 2.3 pounds. So this is a big fat steak. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll get it out and show you. I mean, this is it right here. I went ahead and put some twine on it to keep it nice and tight. It's Cowboy Cut because it's bone in, and they clean the tip of the bone right here. If it had the big full rib, that would be the tomahawk. This is a Cowboy Cut. And this is like a small roast, which I love, but it's a bit of a challenge to cook, especially when you're camping. If I was at home, I would use the sous vide and soak it in a hot water bath, 130 degree hot water bath for probably 2-3 hours. But who uses a sous vide cooking or a sous vide camping? Nobody. Well, I probably should think about that, because sous vide, the heating element probably doesn't draw much power. I'm going to guess probably 200 watts, which means even my 500 watt Jackery would be able to handle it for at least 2 hours. But that's another time. But we are going to cook it low and slow at first. Try to get the doneness that I want. I'm going to aim for an internal temperature of 130. And then after I get there, I'm going to let it rest for a little bit, go down even more in temperature. Then I'm going to sear it in a hot skillet. And you often see chefs and people use butter when searing and basting it in butter, and I do indeed like that. But I found this at Cabela's in La Vista, Nebraska, which is right outside of Omaha. And it's called Bacon Up, and it is bacon grease that has been refined and filtered. I used it last week in making, it just smells like breakfast, when making pork katsu, which is like a pork cutlet, a schnitzel type thing. And I was a little worried that it was going to be too bacony, and overwhelming, but it's just a hint because it has been filtered. And I thought it would be fun to go ahead and use that and baste this steak when I'm searing it in this bacon fat. So we're going to do that, and of course I have some rosemary and garlic to help that out as well. But that's later. Right now, I just patted it dry, and I need to season this bad boy. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to use some sea salt. A steak like this, you kind of got to have a heavy hand in your seasoning, because I mean, this thing is thick, and salt is your friend when you have a cut of meat this thick. It would almost be difficult to over season it, though I'm sure it's possible. Don't forget to do the sides, because anywhere you can get some seasoning on it, that's going to help you out in the end. So I'm going pretty heavy on it. That's okay. I'm not scared. And then some pepper. Yeah, I know. I should be using a pepper mill. I need to find a pepper mill that I can take camping. Something small for me. I'm going to go ahead and put some garlic powder on here too. Oh, looks like my garlic powder is a little bit clunky. It clumped up inside. That's okay. As I said, we're gonna have French fries with it. So maybe I should go ahead and cut those potatoes. All right, I'm using wax potatoes, and this is a Yukon Gold. And for the recipe that I'm using, it's mandatory. You need to use a waxy potato, like a Yukon Gold, or even a red potato. If you use a russet, it's not going to work out because I have a different technique for making fries, and it requires that you use these. They're a little bit firmer versus a russet. So I'm just going to go. The problem with it is that your fries are kind of short and you know, they're smaller, but big deal. They still taste good. So they're kind of ridiculously stubby. That's okay. So I have this little grill that I use camping, and I push all the coals to one side. I'm going to put the steak on the side without any coals because it's much cooler, but you can still feel a lot of heat. I'm going to guess it's about 250 degrees. And I'm just going to put the steak on this side, on the cool side. I'll keep turning it so it heats evenly, and the goal is low and slow. And when I reach an internal temperature of about 130 degrees, I'll pull it. Man, that is just a monster steak. Really thick. Looking forward to it, but it's going to take a while to cook. I'm going to guess over an hour, just slowly heating it up. Now I already have the fry station ready. You see I use a wok. That's actually my favorite camping pan that I use, very versatile. But nonetheless, I have the fries in there. I already have the oil, just barely covering them. So it's ready to go. So as I'm sitting here waiting for the steak to come up to temperature, I thought I might as well go ahead and start on dessert. It's going to take a while to cook anyways. We're making bread pudding, but with a twist. And this was taught to me by my mother, who used to take day-old doughnuts, and I have donut holes, straight from Walmart, and use that instead of bread. It makes it a lot better, and go figure, you're using fried dough instead of bread. It's going to be very decadent and rich. I figured the donut holes because, well, why not? Oh, you know what I should do before I put the donuts in there? I should put a little bit of butter on the bottom of this pan. Put a little butter on the bottom of the pan. It'll help so it's not so, you know, it won't stick to it, but it'll also add some flavor. So let me go ahead and rub some butter in the bottom of this pan. This pan has seen a lot of use. So it's actually my favorite frying pan cooking. It's an MSR stainless steel pan. I've just grown really fond of it. I guess because there's a lot of memories attached to it. So I got some butter in there. Kind of making this up. I don't have the recipe. I'm just going to fill up this pan with donuts. Wow, that looks good. I'm going to try one of these. Woo. It's a donut. We got to make that better though. So I'm going to take a bowl here, and I'm going to use sweetened condensed milk. And Eagle brand now sells them in these pouches, which cool. All right, now I don't have to worry about the leftover. So I'm just gonna eyeball this. Giving me a little attitude. Now I'm using sweetened condensed milk for a couple of reasons. You need milk. I need sugar. Well, this has both right here. And I love sweetened condensed milk. Something about it. Man, I could just eat this. It's like frosting. Okay, I'm gonna save a little bit because I'm thinking of making a caramel sauce later. I don't know, we'll see. It would be good just to drizzle this on top of it too. I had no problems with that whatsoever. I'm gonna thin it out a little bit with some milk. This is risky. I'm lactose intolerant sometimes. Sometimes not. We'll see. You'll never know. I'll never tell. I'm going to stir this up. Now, bread pudding is a pudding, so it's like a custard. So I'm going to add an egg, maybe even 2. Before I do, I want to taste it to see if it's sweet enough. I do have some sugar in the raw with me. Oh yeah. And plus the donuts are sweet themselves. It's not like bread. There's sugar in the donuts. Those are, well, they were glazed donuts. The glaze has kind of melted. But there's still sugar in there. Okay. I'm going to add, what do you think? 1 or 2 eggs? It's cooling off. The humidity isn't near as bad as it was, just a little bit. I'm going to put 2 eggs in it. I don't know why. Got some shell in there. Okay. Save the rest of the eggs for breakfast. It's going to make a nice and custardy. Custardy, is that a word? The other thing, I'm going to put a little bit of nutmeg in here. Just a little bit. A little bit of nutmeg actually goes a long way. And yeah, I know I should grind my own. And I'm going to use a little bit of cinnamon. Not much. A little bit of cinnamon goes a long way too. But you know what this needs? And I did, yes I did, I remembered it. It needs some vanilla. I usually don't bring very many spices when I go camping, but I do bring what I need. Some people bring a whole size spice pack every time. I find that's too much of a hassle. I just bring the spices I'm going to use. And, you know, I think I'm going to, I have a nice bottle of Woodford Reserve whiskey on hand. A splash of that, you know. And I'm thinking, even if I don't caramelize it, make a caramel sauce, this mixed with some of the whiskey and vanilla, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is looking good. I bet if you made a pudding out of this would be pretty dang good. All right, a little bit of whiskey now. A little bit. So good. I tell you what, Woodford Reserve, for the money, good stuff. You gotta watch it though. You can't put too much in there. Your milk will curdle. That's not good. It might be happening anyways. I didn't put that much in there, but not too bad. Yeah. Just keep stirring. It's just like soup. Don't worry. So I got my donuts here. I got it filled up. That's a lot of bread pudding. Remember my rule. Whatever I make, I have to eat. But I can take home. Leftovers are cool. And how breakfast, bread pudding, eggs, spam, hash browns. Are you kidding me? It'd be a good breakfast. I'm gonna, you know what it needs? Just a tiny bit of salt. I put it away. I'll get it out later. I'll probably have to do that off camera. A little pinch of salt help bring out all the flavors. You wouldn't think so, but I tell you what, if you did a taste test with and without salt, you'd notice a difference. It's not a salty difference. It just helps bring out all those other flavors, those complexities of the vanilla, the whiskey, the cinnamon, the nutmeg. It's in the forerunner, so I'll probably do it off camera. Yeah. Money shot. I know you guys like to watch me take my first bites, but this is sexy right here. Oh yeah. Steak's coming along really nicely. I just flipped it for the first time. Yeah, good. And the coals are starting to cool off. And as they cool down a little bit, I'll just push the steak over till eventually they'll just be directly over those coals. So I did what I said I was going to do. I put some gravel in the bottom of my Dutch oven. I actually even raised it up a little bit. I'd rather have the heat too low than too high. Cook slowly. That's not going to hurt anything. I want this to cook as evenly as possible. I'm going to go ahead and put my bread pudding in there. Donut pudding as it is. All right, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to put some coals on top. There, I got the coals on top. Coals on bottom. It's nice and hot. I'm hoping it gets to be about 300 degrees inside. I forgot my probe thermometer, so I'm just kind of guessing here, but I think I'm okay. I'll check it periodically. I forgot to put the sugar and the raw on top, so I did that off camera. I just needed both hands, and I wanted to get on there soon before it started cooking too much. So I just sprinkled about 3 tablespoons of that sugar on top. It'll give it a nice crunchy texture. So I just took the temperature for the first time. I don't know if you can see that. 85 degrees. It's not bad. It's been on there about a half hour. Right, and you see that I moved the steak directly over the coals. Yeah, I can leave my hand there. If you have to move your hand within 4 seconds, it's over 350. It's getting just dark enough, and I'm going to turn on the lights. I don't know if you can see that, but that says 128. Real close. We're getting there. A couple more degrees, I'm going to pull it. Steak's about ready to pull, so I went ahead and started the fries. Remember, cold oil. That'll heat up. My rule is I won't touch it for the first 10 minutes. So I dumped that charcoal out onto the ground, and I put that trivet in the middle. Spread it out. I'm gonna put my my bread pudding, my Dutch oven. So hopefully that'll just keep the cooking process going, and I'll put some more coals as I make them with the wood around there. Let that cook slowly. See those fries, they're frying up nicely right now. It's up to temperature. I'm going to stir them up in a minute. See, my fries are coming along real well. Stirring up, almost ready to pull. Looking good. I went ahead and put some of that bacon fat in here, letting that melt. I don't know how well you can see it. It's getting pretty dark, but I went ahead and put the steak on. Got the garlic, thyme, rosemary. Start the searing. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull these fries. I think they're about done. Looking really good. I'll have to do that off camera. I need both hands. Went ahead and pulled those fries. Looking really good. Now's the time to salt them, so I'm going to do that. And I got to get back to the steak. So I have to turn on this horrendous light because it's so dark right now. Searing's about done. Been basting it with that bacon fat, garlic, thyme, and rosemary. There you have it, folks. Looking pretty good. All right, guys. Here it is. The steak's done. Fries are done. Hopefully, the donut bread pudding is finishing up. We'll check it after I eat. But the magic moment. Let's see how good of a job I did or didn't do. I'm going to try these fries. They're so hot. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Every time. I have some ketchup. Jalapeno ketchup. Oh my goodness, those are good. So good. I should have made some fry sauce, but I'm hungry. Those are so good. Hot. Did pretty good on the timing. Those fries needed to cool off just for a minute. Oh my gosh. I was kind of expecting this butcher twine to burn over those coals and come off, but it didn't. Held on. So let's go ahead and I'm going to trim it right off the bone. Oh wow, look at that. Are you kidding me? That's good. Smells wonderful. This little tail piece right here, my favorite bite. It's a little tough, but it's so beefy. Oh my goodness, I'll save that for later. I'm gonna slice this up. Now you can slice this up thin if you want, but you know what? I went to so much trouble to build up this crust that thin slices, you won't enjoy it. So I'm gonna cut thick slices. Yeah. Very well cooked, not well done, just very even. Edge to edge pink. It's a solid medium, just a hair overdone. That's okay. I'm cutting thick slices so I can enjoy that crust. Yeah. It's really, really well cooked. Look at that. Solid medium. Yeah, I would have liked it just a slightly more rare. I'm not really complaining though. This is a $40 steak right here. Yeah. That's really nice. Look at that. I'll wipe my hands and I'll show you. Turn this back around. Hold on, guys, don't get sick. There you have it. Steam coming off it. You know, under some light, it does look looks perfect on this end, actually. Little hair under medium. Got my fries over here. Oh yeah, good dinner. Now, for the money shot, as they say. Yes, I'm using chopsticks. I'm going to start off with my favorite. No, I'll save that. It's a bit chewy. I'm going to be able to talk. Let's start off the end here. Oh. You know what it tastes like. This is so good. Making a mess. I'm on a slight incline. Steak frite. This is what steak frite's about. Good steak, good fries. Forget about it. This is only my second beer. That IPA just cuts through the richness of the fat of the steak. The steaks, or the fries. Forget about it. This is good. This is worth all the work I put into this. I mean, it's now 8:40, so I've been spending about 2.5 hours making this. You can hear the cicadas are out now. Not as loud as they were earlier in the summer, but they're out. I can hear cicadas, crickets, frogs. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna eat my favorite bite right here. The tail end of a ribeye. Forgive me, my mouth's gonna be really full right now. It's so succulent. It's so beefy. And I like a little bit of chew. I'm sorry. I like my steak to have a little bit of chew. That's why I don't cook filet mignon very often. Wow. This is a lot of food. I think I could have a midnight snack and still have enough for breakfast in the morning. And for those of you who trim off the fat and don't eat it, shame on you. That's out of control good. That's just nuts. I haven't made a steak like that in a long time. I'm gonna keep eating. I'm gonna clean up. I've been cleaning up as I go, so I don't have much to do. And then I'm going to check that bread pudding. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to bring you back, okay? Wish you were here. See you in a minute. There you go, guys. That's the bread pudding. The top part looks amazing. Hopefully the bottom isn't burnt. But, oh yeah. Crispy top. That sugar in the raw. Yeah, didn't let me down. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know what I'm gonna do? Some creamy, or sweetened condensed milk on top. There you go. I didn't make the caramel. I'm a little tired. But you're like, what about the whiskey, Eric? You said you're gonna put whiskey on there. Yeah, I know what I said. Don't worry about it. I didn't forget. You heard that? Oh, that's a wonderful sound. One of my favorite sounds. I'm gonna go ahead and there you go. There's that whiskey. Let that soak in for a minute. And we'll do the money shot. Alright guys, it's getting late. 9 o'clock. Time for some dessert. I'm gonna check the... Oh yeah, I don't see anything burnt. No, nothing. Nice. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Look at that. You see that? Come on, camera. Focus. Get your shit together. Look at that. Oh, the smell is intoxicating. Oh my God. Money. This is fire right here. As my kids would say, this is bussin'. Oh my, you know, I tried a donut hole earlier, and I was a little worried. I was going to tell you, I was like, it's all right. I don't know. It was just all right. This is fire. It's so hot. Oh my God. That sugar in the raw gives it a little bit of crunch. The donut themselves soaked up that custard. It gives us unbelievable richness. And it still tastes like a donut, you know, but better. So much better. Okay. Dishes are mostly done. I got a little bit of cleanup to do. In these campgrounds, the raccoons. Yeah, I gotta get this mosquito. In these campgrounds, the raccoons aren't shy, so I got to do a good job cleaning up. Put all the food inside the 4Runner, and then I'm just gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm gonna clean up a little bit, give myself a wet one bath, and just lay in my 4Runner, watch a movie, and drift off to sleep. I can't tell you what it means to me to be able to come out here, cook a meal like I just had. What an annoying car that is that's going by. But just cook a meal that I just had, the quality that I just had, and just enjoy being outside.
I never get tired of it. I don't know what that was. I think it was a chipmunk or something that just ran across. But anyways, everything's good. I always just look forward to the next one. And until then, I'll see you guys. Take care. Take it easy. Peace out. Good night, everyone.